Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today is a really cool day. My first day being at home alone. Adam has gone back to work during the COVID-19 lockdown, which is really sad because I'm so used to him being here. He's been at home for nearly 5-6 weeks, so for him to now be starting going back to work, it's kind of like, I miss you now. Today's video, I'm going to just move straight on here, is my first video. So I'm doing, oh, I've got itchy nose. So today my first video for coming back after my pregnancy announcement is the first 12 weeks, how I've got through the first trimester, how I felt, my symptoms, everything. The whole shebang is going to be in this video. So make sure you've got a nice old cup of tea with you, you're sitting down, you're chilling, or you're just doing the washing up and putting this on in the background. Let me know what you guys are doing and how you're watching today. And also, could you please give this video a massive thumbs up and do hit the subscribe button so that you keep posted with the rest of my journey and the rest of the videos that me and Adam will be posting throughout this pregnancy. So without further ado, let's go on. Okay, so I've had my glasses back on because I just realised I'm going to be reading from a piece of paper that I've written down everything, and I can't actually read it without my glasses, yeah, because, you know, I'm super blind. So the first 12 weeks is called the first trimester for anyone who is new to pregnancy and is on the first start of their journey. This is the first trimester. It is one of the hardest trimesters apparently to get through according to my midwife, and it has been a roller coaster of emotions. It has really challenged me mentally and physically, but now I'm in the second trimester, I'm starting to feel a little bit better and a little bit more with it, so I'm kind of happy I can like do this video and tell you guys how I've got through it. So I'm going to first start off by saying that what I recommend during pregnancy. So what I'm going to do is separate this video into a couple of sections. So I'm going to do my recommends, what I don't recommend, how I felt during the first couple of weeks, then how I felt later on in the first trimester, what got me through, and I'm going to go like that. So it's just going to be a bit of a free-flowing video. You know, I'll discuss topics that as and when I mention them. So let's do this. Oh, the sun's just come out. That's exciting. It's been really rainy here in London. Look, now it's gone dark again. See? It's been a bit of a rainy couple of days in London, but it's London for you, isn't it? Okay, so to start off, what I recommend. So obviously straight from day one, the minute you find out you're pregnant, if you're not already doing so, I definitely advise to start taking your multivitamins. I have personally been taking Tesco's own multivitamin and mineral for pregnancy support. It has everything: folic acid, vitamin D, vitamin E. The only vitamin you have to be careful of, which I was told by my midwife, was vitamin A. So try not to take anything with the vitamin A in, I believe. But the multivitamin is brilliant because it does everything else for you. You kind of get all the nutrients and that you need. And it has made me feel a lot better taking them vitamins. Obviously, because I'm stuck indoors during this lockdown, I need specific vitamins that I'd normally get from like either being outside, what I eat during the day normally, because obviously my food habits have changed since being pregnant. So I'm not getting the nutrients necessarily from my food because of sickness and everything. So those vitamins have been an absolute godsend. So I would 100% recommend, if you want to start taking vitamins, well, you should start taking vitamins, start taking multivitamins for pregnancy specifically. The next thing as well I would recommend is there's two kind of apps that I absolutely have loved during this. The first one was Pregnancy Plus app, which I will show you on my phone actually what that's like. So Pregnancy Plus, so it tells you here, Pregnancy Plus tells you your baby, like how many weeks you are, what trimester you're in, everything like that. You put your due date in from base what you've worked out from your period calculations, and it is so good because if you click on, if it gives me the quick access, so your baby, week 14, so it tells you, if it wants to load, so it tells you all the information about a baby, like baby's weight, height, what they should be, your body, what you're going through, your baby, your partner, if you're carrying twins. And yeah, it's just a really useful app, and it has really eased my head into especially symptoms and how you're feeling, because when it's your first pregnancy where you've got as far as like we have during it, you're kind of like, you don't know if this is how you should be feeling. Like every single pain or problem, you think, oh my god, that's it, it's just not working, there's something wrong. And actually it's reassured me on a few times now that I'm actually completely fine, there's nothing wrong whatsoever. So I was using that before I even had my first midwife appointment. Now, I didn't get my first midwife appointment until 10 weeks. So the first couple of weeks were really tough, especially when you have had miscarriage before. It's really, really hard to relax. So I have found this app to be brilliant. And it says, I've got one at the minute from this week, like, why am I so breathless? You know, bad hair days during pregnancy, acne during pregnancy. You also get like an idea of like your bump and that. So if you take pictures, you know, you can keep a track of, you know, what your bump looks like, or your scan pictures and everything like that. So it's kind of something you can keep in one place. And I really, really, really like this app. It is so lovely. And if you click on the baby picture that's on there, you can like scroll around and see basically how your baby's forming this week and what's going on. It is just really informative. So 100%, that's one of my favourite apps for you to use. The other app I'm suggesting, which I've had recently, is the one that my midwife and my hospital have advised me to have, and it's called the Mum and Baby app. Now, I'm just trying to find it on my phone, but the Mum and Baby app, it's from my hospital, so I'm just currently loading while it does all its updates. So it does everything. So what you do basically is you can select your hospital that you're going to be at, that you know what the maternity unit is. Like my hospital is West Mid Hospital, and it's just got, it's got everything. And you've got basically in this app, it's the virtual way of having your maternity paperwork. So obviously you still get your maternity paperwork, like a little pack that you have to carry around with you wherever you go, and this is basically, so it's all on your phone, it's all online. Now my midwife said on here there's a good way of doing your birth plan. It's got everything on here, so like it's got your personal care information, so you've got like your about me, no hang on, it's just got a little, so it's got your about me, like your plans that you want for during the baby, having the baby, and everything like that. It's really, really good. And me and Adam have like been sitting and working our way through it and saying, oh, what do you feel? How do you feel about this? Or what do I like? What don't I like? And it also gives you constant updates over the coronavirus pandemic that's going on at the minute. So it's been really, really handy. And it's also told us about that my hospital have just changed. Because of the virus, originally you weren't able to have your partner with you. They've now changed that at my hospital, which is so amazing. Like, I know every other hospital is different, so if you are at a different hospital to me, you know, you may find the rules are still the same as what they were before, but they're now allowing partners to be at the hospital, providing they have their temperature taken. They sign like a declaration form to say that they have not been anywhere around anyone who's got symptoms of COVID-19, and that they're happy and I'm happy for them to be there. So that's amazing. That's a complete change. And they've also said that home births are now able to happen, which again, me personally, it's not for me, but for anyone who does want to have a home birth, you know, it's really exciting news. It's news that, you know, it means that we're getting past what we want to. And yeah, it's just a really, really good app. And definitely worth having. You can keep your appointments on there and everything. So it's a nice way of keeping all your information in one place, so you don't have to solely rely on the paperwork that you have in front of you. So it just means, for me, it's quick access. I can go, right, this is what we're doing. So that's another really good app. I have been given another couple of apps which have been really handy. Bounty, Emma's Diary. They're really good if you want deals, if you want to buy your like push chairs and things like that. They give you some really, really good discounts, which are fantastic. And you also, with Emma's Diary, you get access to freebies. So you get the before baby, after baby, and I think a maternity one, I believe. So yeah, check them guys out. They're really, really cool, and the apps have been fantastic. I can't fault them. Another thing that's really got me through, which I recommend, is the Happy Mum, Happy Baby by Giovanna Fletcher. Now, I am in love with this book. I've been reading it for a little while now, and you know, you take your time, you digest it. So like every chapter and paragraph that she's written, I've kind of been like taking points that I like from what she said and thinking, oh, okay, I might try this, I might try that. Her book is by no means a book that tells you how you should parent and gives you parenting tips. It just gives you her side of what it's like being a parent, having a baby, being pregnant, your body changes, all that stuff. And how she raises Buzz and Buddy is honestly, so she's just such a nice human being, and it's very real, her book. So if you want a book to read, I've got mine on my Kindle on my phone. It cost me $3.99. So definitely, if you want to get something to read, if you're somebody who doesn't really like a book but is happy to sit and read from their phone, go and download the Kindle on your phone. It's free, and just do $3.99 for the book, or you can do the sample for free if you're part of Amazon Prime. So I would definitely recommend that book. It is really, really good. It's really made me chuckle and relax a little bit, and definitely changed my mind about a few things that I thought I would originally want to do. Based on what a couple of people have said, I've changed my mind on a few things. So it's been a really good book to read. So definitely, if you want something to keep you entertained, to get your head going during those first 12 weeks, read that book, because it's true. Happy mum, happy baby. Now, what I don't recommend, oh my god, I have learned this so many times. How many times Adam would say to me, Holly, stop doing this, stop doing that. Do not use Google. Every symptom you put into Google, so every cramp, every mini pain, anything that you find wrong, like, oh my god, you get like a slight tightness on your chest, or you get like a little intense cramp that comes, and you think, oh god, that's it, it's period coming. It then directs you to the famous website Mumsnet. Now, for anyone who is on Mumsnet here, you know, good for you. If you enjoy that page, brilliant. If you've had good luck on that page, lovely, you get the support, no worries. But for me personally, every article I read just scared me. Like, really, really scared me. I would start reading stories, you know, somebody would put up on there a question and say, oh, I'm X amount of weeks pregnant by having this symptom, this symptom, this symptom. Automatically under the next comment you get, oh, this happened to me, I miscarried. Oh, this happened to me, I miscarried. Same symptoms happened to me. Baby's heartbeat wasn't there. Had a missed miscarriage. And honestly, for a long time, for the first couple of weeks, I had convinced myself something was wrong. I was so obsessed with looking at Mumsnet and looking on Google that I would convince myself that something bad was going on. Now, during them first 12 weeks, I know it is hard, it is really, really tough, and you want to just make sure everything's okay. When you have a history of miscarriages, it is really tough to relax during those first 12 weeks, and I am by no means saying that you're going to relax and you're just going to ignore Google, because you're not. You're going to use it, because it's the only option you've got until you've got access to your midwife. But if I could advise one thing, it would be, do not use Google, and honestly just wait until your first midwife appointment. Then basically just shout everything out to her and go, this is what's wrong, I'm getting this, I'm getting that, blah blah blah, and they will tell you. They will tell you you are being absolutely fine, you're worrying about nothing, it's normal. And that is something my midwife said to me when I went on to her. I had a list of things I wanted to talk to her about, and I kind of just said to her, I'm getting all these cramps and everything like that, I'm worried about having a miscarriage, the baby's heart's just going to stop beating, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. And she was like, Holly, these symptoms that you are having are completely normal. If you weren't having these symptoms, then fair enough, we could maybe say, right, we'll come and have a little look at what's going on. But all the time you're getting these symptoms, think of it as a positive. It means your body is doing what it needs to do to build this baby. And she reassured me straight from the off. As soon as I got off that phone call, I was said to Adam, I just feel so much more better now. Hearing like a professional say to you, it's fine. The cramps are fine. What you're feeling is fine. Your nerves, you're anxious, that is completely normal. She said, you know, don't worry too much about having all of these symptoms and everything. Everything is going to be fine. Okay, that's better. So that's 100% my top for the first 12 weeks. That is the only thing I advise you do not use, is use Google. Try and avoid it as much as you possibly can. It's the same as if you're trying to conceive. You automatically go on there and symptom spot, and you think, oh god, right, this person had that and that and that, and it means I'm pregnant, and you're not pregnant. So it is just one of those things. I think as a woman, you want to know what's going on, and when you're trying to conceive, it's very much you want to be able to feel like your body's doing what it needs to do, when actually you're just putting that in your head. It's not really happening. So I have to be so thankful for my midwife. She's honestly amazing. So hopefully you guys get the same kind of midwife I have, who is very understanding, very nice, and is there if I need to text her and just say, like, this says something not right, she'll tell me otherwise, basically. So yeah, that's my first section of this video, is what I recommended and what I don't recommend. Now, I'm going to go through the how I have felt during the first couple of weeks. Okay, up next is the how I have felt during the first 12 weeks. So I'm going to start by doing weeks 5 to 8. So roughly found out I was pregnant at 5 weeks. So for me, my symptoms didn't really start kicking in until after 5 weeks. I think I was more at the 6 to 7 week mark when all my symptoms started to like properly kick in. So from, I would say, about 6 weeks, my symptoms started. So I started getting quite bad nausea. I was never actually sick, so I didn't really suffer with morning sickness as such. I was never head over the toilet all the time, you know. I was very, very lucky that I only had the nausea side of it, where I just felt poorly. So I would put a meal in front of me and I couldn't eat it because the smell of it was just making me feel sick. I didn't want to do anything. I lost all my energy. I just laid on the sofa quite a lot. It was just awful, that horrible feeling. And then the cramping obviously had started by about 5 weeks-ish, which was for me a big worry, because obviously I was very concerned about miscarriaging and having a miscarriage and everything like that, which is completely normal, by the way. You know, these are normal feelings to have. Obviously my boobs are very, very sensitive, very tingly. They were the first thing that grew for me. So my boobs from about 6 to 8 weeks like got big. So I went from being a 34C to now wearing a 34DE. So my boobs have got quite big. I'm currently wearing a maternity nursing bra, and the top that I'm wearing normally would fit me really nicely. It's now really tight on my boobs, so I'm going to have to start getting some maternity clothes by the looks of it. So I had 3 scans during those first couple of weeks. I had 1 scan at 5 weeks, 5 days, because we wanted to find out how far I actually was, because I had 2 bleedings, which you would see in my previous video. I didn't know how far I actually was, so we just really needed to know. So yeah, I had 1 at 5 weeks, 5 days, but because I was part of the subfertility team, obviously we were still under treatment and still under them guys, I had to go and have a scan with them. So they then scanned me at 6 weeks. 6.5 weeks that was when they scanned me, and we saw the baby's heartbeat for the first time, which was absolutely fantastic. Like, 5.5 weeks was when I first had a miscarriage. So when we had that first scan, I came home very scared, very like, oh my god, I'm going to lose this baby, there's going to be something wrong. And I could not get that out of my head. I just couldn't shake it out of my head. I didn't sleep very well. I just was so hormonal. It was ridiculous. And then we saw the baby's heartbeat at 6.5 weeks, which was the most incredible feeling. I'd made it further than my previous, so I was happy. But again, I still couldn't shake this anxiousness out of my head. I was still so worried. Every single symptom, everything. I was like, Adam, there's something wrong. I feel like it's just going to get taken. The constant fear that this is just going to get taken away from me hasn't left. It just did. It's still to this day, I have moments where I think this is too good to be true. And then I had my 3rd scan at about 8.5 weeks. Yes, 8.5 weeks, again with the early pregnancy unit, because there was a discrepancy in my scan dates, because my period that they're counting it from is January. I should have been measuring a little bit bigger. So because they were worried that, oh, maybe the baby's not growing properly. So that was another thing in my head, like concern. Oh my god, the baby's not growing properly, this is not good. We got to our 8.5 weeks and the baby had doubled in the size that they were. They had a healthy heartbeat, they were moving about. When we got the scan picture, they looked like a baby turtle, because obviously where they did the internal, not an external scan, obviously the baby looked like this little turtle, and we called it baby turtle from 8 weeks onwards, and it's still to this day we call the baby turtle. Some people said spaceman, so that's what we decided to call the baby. But obviously the pains and that still kept going, so I still keep getting cramping from up until 8 weeks. I had trap gas, indigestion. I really suffer with acid reflux even before I fell pregnant. So now my doctor said, you're going to suffer with it probably a little bit more, which is not fun. But the only thing I will say is my IBS has actually been really good. I haven't had like a big flare up with my IBS, which I'm shocked about. I thought I would really suffer, and it was one of the things I was concerned about. But actually, it turns out I don't need to worry at the minute. It's the acid reflux that seems to be an issue for us right now. But yeah, like I said, it was just a very anxious time. When you get to that 8-week mark, you kind of think, like, we started telling our friends and our family, you know, we were having a baby, blah, blah, blah. And it became very exciting. And we were like, oh, this could happen. It's going to happen. It'll be fine. So then from week 9 to week 12, I felt a little bit more at ease. I think once I had the scan after this point, so I had then had another scan at 10 weeks. You're wondering how we had so many scans. So me and Adam have paid for privately 3 scans so far. We have got another scan booked in a couple of weeks' time, because we're finding for us it's reassuring us every couple of weeks. Now, because I am so anxious and I'm such an anxious human being anyway, it just worked out better for us to just go and have private scans as well as our NHS scans. So we also then had 2 scans with our early pregnancy unit team and the sub-fertility clinics, and then we've also had our 2 that we get with the NHS, so your 12-week and your 20-week we will have. We haven't had that one just yet. So yeah, from the 9-week point, it was really, really bad nausea. You just cannot describe how you feel. It's the strangest thing, every smell, everything that happens, you just feel really ill. And it always happened for me. I had it 2 times. So it would normally be, even when I first wake up in the morning when I was about to make a cup of tea, I'd find, because my sugar levels must have dropped quite a lot, that I just felt really uneasy, felt really queasy. And then it would also happen at night, so I'd find it about dinner time is when it was really bad. So I would have to say, overall, I think I was really, really lucky in terms of my like morning sickness, because I was never actually physically sick. I would say though that from 11.5 weeks was when my symptoms started to ease off slightly. So the cramping became less frequent. I was finding it was at the end of the week. So when I was going into a new pregnancy week is when it was bad, which I presume is because the baby is obviously growing. It was never like a severe pain. This is another thing that people ask you, like what does the pain, like pregnancy cramps, actually feel like? Now, for me, it felt very similar to what a period pain feels like. But the further and further into the weeks I got, it actually turns into a little bit more like, every now and again you get like this dull pulling sensation, which apparently is completely normal. It's your uterus expanding, because, you know, your body's changing dramatically to hold this baby, and then it all moves up. So yesterday I was really struggling. I had a few cramps, and that was in the 13 and a bit weeks. So I had a few cramps. It was a little bit like, oh, this is uneasy, it's painful. But I spoke to my midwife, so as long as there's no bleeding, you're absolutely fine. But yeah, 11.5 weeks, I would say that is definitely where it started to just ease off. The sickness wasn't so bad. I wasn't feeling sick every day. It was only like a couple of random moments. I would say my boobs stopped tingling massively. They kind of got to a point and they just stopped. They were still very full and very much, you know, well, okay, you definitely have got bigger. My tummy obviously was starting to really change shape at this point. Yeah, but overall, that's when it all started to calm down for me. And then at 12 weeks, so bang on, 12 weeks one day, was when my energy all started to come back. I started to feel like myself again, like even in terms of like my positive energy, like in my head, everything came back. I felt happy, I felt more at ease. I'd heard the baby's heartbeat a few times now. And then obviously we had our 12-week scan, which showed that the baby was actually bigger than what they were when they were measuring before. So the baby measured 5 days bigger, which was even better news. It means my body's done exactly what it needs to do. Baby is growing at a rate that it should be. And it was the most amazing sensation ever. The only symptom I've had in these first 12 weeks, well, in the 12th week onwards, so where I am now, is I am suffering a little bit of headaches. Now, they're not bad headaches. It's not a migraine. It's not to the point that I need to go and like lay down in the dark or anything like that. But tension headaches. Now, again, make the mistake. You Google it. All these horrible things come up. So instead, I did the right thing this time. I spoke to my midwife when I went and saw them when I went to my 12-week scan. And I said to her, I was like, you know, is it normal? Is it okay? And she went, you got to think, your head is thinking at 100 miles an hour. Add that to the fact that the baby's pumping all this blood around your system. That's what it is. It's not anything to be scared about. It is fine, it's normal, providing it's not like an intense pain to the point that you need to sleep all the time and it's not affecting your day-to-day life. Don't worry too much about it. Should make sure you're getting enough sleep. Obviously, in this period of time, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really struggling with sleeping and Adam's struggling with sleeping, and I think it's a combination of anxiety, stress. You're also boredom because you're doing the same thing all day. You're not at work, you're not going outside as frequent as you would normally. Your life has just completely changed. So put all them factors into one, and that's probably why you're not sleeping great. Obviously, I've also had to ban drinking Lucozade after a certain time because that keeps me wide awake. But yeah, that's basically the sum up really of how I felt. I've also struggled with heartburn, headaches, constipation. I've got trapped gas all the time. Your body changes, girls, okay? Let's be honest here, let's be real. Your body's going to change throughout this. There's no point sitting here thinking that you're going to have this lovely, healthy body and, you know, you're going to feel amazing. The first 12 weeks are not amazing. They don't feel amazing. I did not relax once. I could not find a way of relaxing. But yeah, it was just, that is just me, how I personally felt over those first 12 weeks. But I would have to say, what got me through this in terms of with the sickness side of it, you know, things that I had every day that kind of helped. So obviously, first and foremost, Lucozade. Now, I dramatically cut out caffeine, as in my tea drinking. I was drinking a lot of tea a day. I work as an office job, so I was having tea maybe every hour or so. And my midwife always said to me, Holly, you need to cut that down to 2 cups of tea a day. All right, no worries. I thought it'd be fine. And you know, I have to say, with the nausea and the sickness side of it, I lost my love for tea. The smell of it made me feel sick. I didn't enjoy it for the first 12 weeks. Even now, I'm still a little bit like, I don't like to have very much of it. I maybe drink 2 cups maximum a day. I will probably start drinking decaf tea now. I'm past the 12-week mark. I might try and have some of that instead of having regular tea. But yeah, it just didn't work for me. But I was finding, because I wasn't getting the caffeine hit, my body was hitting a low all the time. So again, spoke to my midwife rather than Googling it and said, you know, what can I have instead that will, you know, help me stop feeling sick? And the only thing that stopped me from feeling sick was this bad boy. Now, I don't know if you guys are the same as kids. Then your mum would say to you, if you're not feeling very well, I'll get you a bottle of Lucozade. That's what we did as kids. And it has honestly helped me so much. And I did check it over my midwife. She said, yeah, that's fine, providing you're only having maybe one of these bottles for the whole day, or like over 2 days. These last me 2 days. I can't drink a whole bottle a day of this. I would be buzzing. And I ban it from a certain time. So I only have it from when I get up till about 4 or 5 o'clock. Then I move straight back onto water. As well as drinking water throughout the day as well, by the way, girls. Don't think I live on this. I drink a lot of water as well. So yeah, that's been my go-to, Lucozade. It's really helped me personally. So obviously with the sickness as well, I haven't really been eating what I would normally eat. If any of you follow me prior to finding out I was pregnant, I follow Slimming World, and I still do follow Slimming World, but I'm having to be a little bit more careful because some foods just aren't agreeing with me at the minute. But I found toast was my go-to. It was the easiest thing for me to eat, just plain buttered toast. And for the first, I'd say from 7 to 8 weeks, so for about 7 to 8.5 weeks, that roughly that gap, toast was every day. That was kind of getting me through it. And also my body was craving strawberries. Now, some people say it's really good that you're not craving naughty food, and then some people say, oh, it could be a bad thing that you're craving that because you're not getting enough of that vitamin in you. But honestly, I just had this craving for strawberries and then randomly just salt and vinegar crisps. Don't know why, really don't understand why, but I just needed them. So Adam went out and brought me like loads of strawberries, loads of salt and vinegar crisps, and that for some reason is what I've been. And also the smell of washing detergent. Obviously I'd never be silly enough to like eat the stuff, but the smell of it was just so nice, and it just, for some reason, my body just really enjoyed it. So I don't know, it's changed a lot now. I still very much have cravings for strawberries. I always have been a strawberry lover, But for now, I really am like, oh, I could do a bowl of strawberries kind of thing. But yeah, most of the weird cravings that I have gone, and the aversions that I had where I was like, oh, I can't even imagine eating that, I can't imagine touching that. Like I went off chicken for the first 12 weeks, that was really hard because I do eat a lot of chicken in my diet. But I was finding it was making me feel sick after eating it, and oh, it was awful. But I started introducing it back in now, and I seem to be doing okay. So I think I'm out of the aversion side of things now. Also, warm bath, that really got me through it. Now, obviously, when I first was pregnant, I had a bath, and I'm very much, I like my baths being really hot so I can like feel that I'm in the bath, not just like sit in tepid water. And I panicked myself because I didn't like measure the temperature or anything like that of the bath. And then I did the silly thing in my first week or so, finding out I was pregnant, Google, is having a bath okay? And it comes up straight away about hot baths and everything like that. So there I am, I'm panicking. I was like for a week going, oh my God, I've ruined this baby already. It's been a week. Oh God, I can't believe it. Why did I have a bath? Silly me. Again, I should have just waited until my midwife before I worried myself. But I said to her about having baths, I was like, is it okay? She went, Holly, it's absolutely fine. Have a warm bath. As long as it's not boiling hot. The way you can tell if it's boiling hot is if it turns your skin bright pink. If it turns your skin bright pink, then it's too hot. She went, so the best thing to do is before you get in, stick your hand in it. If your hand goes bright pink, then it's too hot. Leave it to cool for a little bit. She's gone, but she says the reason they say a jacuzzi or a hot tub to avoid is because it keeps that heat continuously. In a bath, when you sit in a bath, it cools down. It won't be hot for long. She's like, so you don't really need to worry. The only time you need to worry is if it is to the point that your skin goes like bright pink, that you're burning yourself. She's like, other than that, it's absolutely fine. You can use bath bombs, you can use a bath, like bubble bath, but just be careful of the kind of bubble bath you're using. So for me personally, I just stopped using bubble bath. I was like, no, I'm okay, I don't really need to use the bubble bath. But I check all my bath bombs and they're all absolutely fine during pregnancy. So for me, it makes no difference. I stick a movie on my iPad and put a load of candles on, turn the lights off, put a face mask on. Done deal. It has helped me out so much. It's relaxed me. It's something that I've always found helps. It definitely helps the cramps if you are really struggling. Also really good for headaches. I did not know. See, you can tell I've got acid reflux because I keep hearing my voice change where the acid reflux keeps coming. I do apologise. I hope it gets better soon. And obviously the last thing I'd have to say that has got me through the 12 weeks are the apps that I said about in the beginning. It's just nice being able to keep a constant check of like what's going on inside of you, like what the baby's looking like, what they're doing, what organs are growing at what point, and it makes it more and more real. So yeah, I'd have to say they are what's got me through, and 100% having all the scans that we had have really helped us go. And like, we have got another scan booked in at 16 weeks. So we're going to go for one then because it's that'd be a 3-bit gap. So we've been normally having them every 2 weeks. We're now going to go just a little bit longer and have a 3-week gap. So hopefully by then baby will be a bit bigger, and that'll be the last scan before our 20-week. And then after our 20-week scan, that's it. There's no more scans after that. So I'm not sure if we'll have any more. I'm not sure if we'll do another scan from that point. I'm sure eventually me and Adam probably will. We like the reassurance at the minute. It's just keeping us both sane, so we both know, okay, everything's okay, Holly, you're fine. But so far it's been really good. I think the best scan date that I've had so far has got to have been my 10.5-week scan that I had. Yeah, about 10.5 weeks. So that scan was a private scan we both paid for. We like really wanted to go and just double check everything was okay. And as I was laying there, Adam was allowed with me because it was a private scan. It's not the NHS scans where they've banned partners from being with you for now, temporarily. And it was the first time Adam had actually seen the baby, so it was a special moment for both of us. And all of a sudden, halfway through this scan, the baby must have like woken up a little bit, so they're moving, and they did the biggest stretch ever, like big arms, big legs, and the sonographer just held the like Doppler thing there and just let us watch the baby for about 15 minutes, and it just like stretched out, and then it like goes like this, all snuggles back in, and it like wriggled about, and we were like, oh my god, it just makes it so much more real. Then I got to see the baby at the 12-week scan, and Adam had to sit in the car, which was the hardest thing ever because that appointment lasted forever. I was in the hospital for 2 hours because I had to have blood tests done, scans, see the midwife, everything. I did the whole works in the 12 weeks because of the virus. We can only do it all in one hit. So he was sat in the car waiting, and he was just so anxious because he just wanted to know everything was okay, the baby was okay. And oh, it was just so amazing. The baby was being very stubborn at the 12-week scan. They decided that they wanted to not face the right way, so they were facing downwards. And the sonographer was like, I need you to turn around, baby, because I need to measure you, and I can't get your measurement properly like this. So got me to stand up, walk around a little bit, have a little bit more water. It didn't work, wouldn't move. Fine. So she's like, said to me, right, lay down on the bed, stick your bum in the air, and just wriggle your bum. Just like wriggle yourself for a couple of minutes. So wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. Scanned again. No, still don't want to do it. So she went, right, I'm going to try this one thing. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to have to rebook you in to come in for another scan another time. I was like, oh, please, baby, please just do as you're told. So the woman got her hands on my belly and was going, all over my tummy. And eventually the baby decided to move. Like, oh, finally, now you want to do as you're told. So wriggled about, turned around, and was like all curled up like this. You could see the baby's hand like that at first. And she's like, oh, look, very, very cute, being very sweet now. And they got the measurements right, and it was like, yeah, baby has definitely grown bigger than what they were last time. Fantastic news. Baby's heartbeat's perfect. Everything's perfect. You can see the baby's tummy. You can see their brain. She said, I can see all their organs. I can see where their the umbilical cord tube is and where the placenta is. Everything looks perfect. Really nice and healthy. Good job, you know. Congratulations, you made it to this point. So I was really over the moon with that anyway. But yeah, it was just so funny just seeing like sonographer just like rubbing my belly mad, like come on, and eventually it did work. So yeah, the baby has not done as they're told in any of the scans really. I think even in our 8-week scan the baby decided, because we had an internal scan, it wouldn't turn around again. It was like, no, I don't want to turn around. So we got this like view of their hands and feet like this. So yeah, it was really, really good. It was really worth it. The scans have been incredible. It's just been the most incredible experience. I can't contain how happy I am. I'm so excited. So I'm hoping that at our next scan we may have a little more of an idea of how baby is, what's going on. We may potentially find out what we're having. It's not kind of the top of our priority for this next scan. I think for us it's just more of reassurance, just to check the baby's fine. And then at the 20-week, I'm sure if we don't get to find out at the 16-week early gender scans, that we'll find out at the 20-week what we're having. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm sure you guys can tell how excited we both are. If any of you know Adam, you'll know that he cannot wait for this baby to arrive. It's all he can talk about at the minute. So yeah, we're just really, really excited. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and it's given you a bit of an insight into what the first trimester's been like. It's not been plain sailing. Well, everything's amazing. I'm so happy. It's been a lot of emotions, highs, lows, tears, the lot. Hormones are always all over the place. So if you are new to this and you are just starting your first trimester, then good luck. You're going to be fine. Just make sure you always talk to your midwife. Don't rely on the internet, because the internet doctor is not great. They tell you all the sad, horrible things you don't want to hear. You don't need to hear at this point. So keep positive, girls. If you are still going through the journey of trying to conceive, my love goes out to you. And if you need any advice, you want to ask any questions, follow me on Instagram at withlovehollyxo. And my DMs or messages, anything are always open for anybody. And if you do want to email me personally, I will leave down my email address. So I'm always contactable if anyone needs me. I'm here for you all. So thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you did like it. Please do hit the subscribe button, like I said like I said earlier, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Big loves and hugs. See you all soon.